Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's your girl, B.Millie in the building, Blah Release. And today we are talking about finances. We are talking about saving money. So if you want to talk about saving money, if you want some tips on how to start saving money, if you currently aren't, or how to just increase and, just save more and change your life, stay tuned to this video and like, comment, share, and subscribe. So we're going to dive right into it. I just have 7 quick points that I want to bring before you guys. And if there's anything else or any other suggestions that you do have, put those in the comments and I'd be more than happy to make a video. So, guys, first things first, right? I just want to touch on this because I was broke. I had a horrible credit score. I didn't have a place of my own. I didn't have any money saved. I was literally spending everything. So if a person like me can go from, you know, from $0 in savings to, at least savings of 5 figures, then so can you. Okay. So can you. And I didn't do it in a lot of time. I didn't do it making a whole bunch of money. I didn't win the lottery or anything like that. So I just want to say, so can you. All right. So first things first, people always talk about savings. They say that, don't save your money. Don't put your money in the bank account. Your money is going to basically lose value because you're keeping it in a savings or whatever. Correct. Correct. It's true. It does lose value. You're right. Because of inflation. That is correct. However, okay, you need to save something because if an emergency comes up, what are you going to tell them? Well, I didn't save the money because it was going to lose value. They're going to say, well, how much money do you have now? How valuable is the money you have now? Oh, well, I don't have it because I spent it all. So that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So first things first, you need at least at minimum an emergency stash at all times. You need an emergency stash. So always, always, always have that on deck. Okay. Next thing, why are you saving this money, right? So are you making a big purchase? Are you traveling somewhere? Do you want to send your kids to college? Do you have to pay for college for yourself? Do you want to open up a new business? Do you want to buy a boat, a house? I don't know. Why are you doing this? Why are you saving, right? Because first you need to know why you're saving. And that's really going to be like that one motivating factor that's going to like really make you actually save. Like it has to be something you care about. So yeah, determine the reason, determine the reason why you're actually saving this money. Okay. So now, based on this reason, like, what's your timeline? What's your goal? You need like an actual date. Like, for example, if your goal is a year from now, I want to have 10 grand in the bank. Then your goal date is going to be June 21st or June 22nd of 2024 if you're giving yourself a full year. Okay. Now the next thing is going to be how much? Okay, 10,000. Because right now we're just talking about finances. So when you're talking about money, it's an amount. It's very simple. An amount and a date. An amount and a date. So in order to get this amount by this date, we're now going to break this up into however you get paid. So if you get paid bi-weekly, you're going to determine an amount to save on a bi-weekly basis every 2 weeks. If you get paid weekly, how much are you going to save every single week until you reach your goal? If you are self-employed, what is the average that you expect to make and that you can kind of like rely on type thing? You always want to underestimate rather than overestimate your income, right? Because if you make more money than what you thought you were going to make, great, you can throw more in the savings. But if you make less than what you plan to make, then that might affect how much you're able to save based on the ratio of your bills to your income, your debt to income ratio. Okay. So now you want to reassess that, like based on the timeline that you set for yourself, the goal date and the amount, and what you just did, all the math calculations, are you going to reach that goal by that date? Because if you're not, you're setting yourself up for failure. And we don't want to set unattainable goals because that's not going to motivate us to keep going on this journey. Okay. Because this is the journey that we're going on. Okay. When your finances change and you're able to discipline yourself, that is mental discipline, honey. Everything else will start changing because you'll be like, wow, I can do anything. I can do this. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Now, if that's not going to work, you might have to tweak some things, either tweak the amount, tweak the date, or whatever the case is. But you also want to break it down into like really small goals. And we'll jump into that just a little bit later, right? So Third thing, I'm sorry, that you want to do is check your spending. So if you're buying unnecessary things, if you have a little tobacco habit, if you have a little alcohol habit, if you got a little shopping habit, if you got a little, I like to buy cars, I like doing luxury stuff, I like doing all this stuff. If you like doing all of those things, then you might want to make a decision, right? So you want to look at your monthly budget. That's number 4. Create a monthly budget, right? To really identify and pinpoint where is your money going, right? So 3 and 4, you're checking your spending. So you can do this by looking at bank statements, or if you don't use cards and you use cash, maybe you need to start getting receipts or writing down every single thing that you purchase within a month's time, and then determine where is your money going. Because if you don't know where your money is going, then how will you be able to allocate it to a different place, and how will you start to save? That's not going to work. So you need to know first. So if you create a monthly budget, something real simple in Excel, you can do one in a Word document. You could do one in your notes. It's really up to you. I prefer Excel. I prefer the formulas. If you save them correctly, you can, create the little math equation and it'll autofill for you. So you don't have to do the computation or calculations or whatever each time. I'll show you guys how to do that in a whole separate video. But get a budget going so that way you can see where your money's going. See where there are recurring bills that you can like maybe pay off, or high yield, high interest accounts that you can pay off faster. So in turn you save money. So like, for example, if you have like, I don't know, let's just say like a 10% interest rate on like a loan for like, I don't even know, like $1,000, like maybe you can pay it off early and save yourself a couple $100 on that. Who knows? Just a suggestion, okay, if you can. Now, if you can also see where your money's going, then maybe when you are doing a little bit too much splurging and things of that nature, that is the first time that you'll see it. Like it'll become a red flag. Okay. So that's the reason we're doing a monthly budget. Now, choose an easy amount. So remember when I told you guys, like, hey, maybe if your goal is $10,000 by June 21st of 2024 or June 22nd of 2024, you still want to break that down. Like maybe 2,500, in the next 3 months, then another 2,500, then another 25. Like every 3 months you save $2,500, right? And still you're going to break that down on a however you get paid basis. So if it's once a month and you're saving however much for once a month, I'm not going to do that math in my head in right now because I don't know why I even picked that number. But long story short, you pretty much want to pick something, stick with it for 3 months. The goal here is we're trying to reprogram our mind, the way we think about money, the way we spend money, the way we treat money, our relationship with money, and in turn change our actions and our behavior so that we save more money and we have the freedom to do with our money as we please. We have the freedom to save up for these things and enjoy new experiences in life, because that's essentially what money kind of allows you to do. Now, I got a frog in my throat. Okay, now, next thing you want to do, find a high yield interest savings account or whatever. Find a savings account that has the highest interest. So I think some banks that are just online have like maybe higher interest than some regular banks, but I would definitely go with maybe like a credit union or something like that. You could just Google which banks have the highest interest rates for savings accounts and kind of go from there. Some may have minimums, so check that out, because if you fall below a certain minimum amount, they might charge you something or whatever. I feel like maybe that was Bank of America and they're checking, but just check it out. I'll do some research as well. We can do it together and I'll post the video. Just keep in mind though that the less liquid your money, so like the less you have access to it, like if you're penalized for withdrawing it early, those have the higher interest rates, but the lower interest rates, like you're able to, like a savings account, you can essentially go in the bank, take money out of your savings account, and you won't be penalized. So just keep that in mind. Last thing I'll say is try to save at least 33% of your income. I watch motivational videos by Eric Thomas, and I remember him saying in one video in particular, like he lives off of 20% of his income. Amazing. I aspire to be like that, but the whole goal behind this is if you're making so much money, or if you're making a decent amount of money and you can cut down either costs or supplement those by either doing something additional, whether that's like a trade, like barber, braiding, waxing, whatever, or it's like another job, like you're picking up shifts here or there. It doesn't really matter necessarily where the money's coming from. It just matters what you're doing with it. So if you're making more money or however much you're making, try to get to the place where you're able to save at least a third of your income each month. Because think about it, like there's a lot of people who, if they lost their jobs today, they wouldn't be able to go very long without some type of income. Or some things would have to literally get cut off or taken back. So ask yourself, like, where do you want to be? If you lost your job at this very second, how long could you survive? I think a great place for everyone to start is maybe first trying to save what, at least what you make in a month. If you don't have anything saved, like try to save that. If you don't have what you make in a month saved, then you may want to, and you don't want to save, just don't expect to keep that stuff. If worst case scenario, always plan for worst case scenario. So guys, I really want to help you guys get better with your finances. I want to help you guys save money. I want to help you. I'm not saying that I have the perfect life, and I'm definitely not rich, but what I can say is I've been at the bottom and I've worked my way up myself. So I don't just talk BS. This is from real life experience. I've also consulted with people who are doing very well in life. You know, they have things that are paid for. They're doing a little bit better than me. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. And so I feel like, why not share this information with you guys? If you guys want to hear anything else or have any comments, questions, or concerns, you know where to find me. Hit me up in the comments and I will get back to you as ASAP. Until the next video, I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are. You are special. You are beautiful. You can do it. Believe in yourself.